Change is never easy. We spent the last 3 weeks trialing for our spots to stay on the team. But given what happened at Champions, change is necessary.
Let's go, you know what I mean? Just go play, you're gonna I'm not worried.
Going in, when we saw Na'Vi, we certainly ranked them as the probably easiest matchup for us.
The entry to the tournament coming in as an LCQ second seed, we're top seed. We had everything in our advantage to win that game.
Of the pound, Zipan! And they all fall down! This is Dire Straits and this is the map Na'Vi!
When we lost the first map, I think we were just kind of shocked.
As soon as you get on stage, there's so much more stress, so much more pressure. So you have all these expectations from the way things go in practice, the way the prep goes, and how we talk about the game plan going into the game. All of that kind of goes out the window and it just turns into this who's playing better in the round.
It's frustrating because we know what they're doing. It's just about they had to play the game as well.
All of these maps, I think we can anticipate being just as close as what you just witnessed. These two teams separated by a hair.
We played them a lot, we scrimmed them a lot. We know how they play, they know how we play. So every game against them is kind of like a coin flip. All right, boys, remember, communicate together, okay? Postman, say what you're holding, who's holding behind, all that, okay?
Let's go, boys, let's go!
Let's go.
More cues! That's a two-piece! Try and swing, he wants to have another go of it.
Nice! Good job. Nice!
It's back and forth, round for round, and you're just sat there watching, just like, you don't know what's going to happen next.
Over the top though, Nats is there. Yes! What? There's no way!
Side defuse.
Smoke in his face all the way through! That is ridiculous!
Nice!
For the overtime, goodness me!
Especially when you get to overtime, it's so stressful. It takes years off my life.
Angel's going for it. Yep, they're pushing it. Any util to clear this? No, not at all.
No smokes, no smokes! Just swing it. Nice!
Just trying to find the positioning, the time he takes the duel, no one's turning around!
Hold them walls, please. It's fine, we're still in the game, let's go, boys.
Redgar sticking it, I don't believe he got half, it leaves it to Jamppi, into the 1v1, and time. Oh, the satchel half on it, pushed away, Zipan!
To be honest, when it's an overtime like this, and it could be this one round or one kill that mattered, it's kind of sour to lose that one.
What? We're doing everything right. Like, it's almost as if the book, let's do everything wrong and win instead. Like, we're doing everything right. What is the issue then?
I'll tell you in a second. In my opinion, I think Navi's win was solely on us making mistakes.
I hear him, what sorry, I saw. Stop this faking info, Nafik.
Some language barrier here and there, right? But the clarity overall, it was bullshit.
Can I say something, please? I mean, I know I'm kind of agitated after the game, but I think that's absolute because I know for a fact that we said nothing, but I know for a fact that everyone's saying something in their own world.
My bad, bro. You say second tempo, you say pause, and No, I didn't say second tempo. You did say second tempo. My bad then.
Nothing correlates to what anyone else is doing. Everyone just has their own plan. Then what the why are we on stage then?
It wasn't good. It wasn't a pleasant experience.
And again, for Liquid going down to that lower bracket, they had a lot of opportunities today that slipped away from them. They're at risk of another disappointing tournament here if they can't turn it around.
So the loss against Na'Vi, I think, was particularly shocking because we had put so much preparation into the early parts of the tournament.
I think for the whole team besides myself, it's their first time in LA. Initial impression, we land, weather's bliss, everyone's in a good mood.
Move the phone up, bro. Move the phone up. Yeah. Let's go.
These are guys that grew up on GTA, so that just kind of summed up like how we felt. Like everyone's singing along, everyone's on board.
Yeah, that's the vibe in the city, no? Yeah, it is the vibe. You know? It felt right. What the is that? This is not a duck. This is a chicken.
Chicken?
We kind of took some lessons on international travel and tournaments and how to structure the preparation from Tokyo. We landed and went right into practice.
Emil.
I think results-wise from the scrims we were performing very well. However, there were some moments of tensions boiling over.
Boys,
What?
listen up.
Last rounds, it was top. It's starting from you start to complaining, we're talking about the talk it after. Because are you gonna complain the same on the stage?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But you started to scream at the beginning of the round, it continues. Are you gonna do the same on official?
That's sort of a symptom of us being on the road and not being in our usual environment, comfortable setup. So even when things are going good, things can get derailed really quickly.
But you're making a chicken out of a feather. You said don't do that, but you're doing it yourself now. So.
Because I'm doing it right now because it's the game and I'm the leader, you're not. Because it shouldn't be done at the game and we should follow the rules and we should be full into the game.
I hear you, but I think you're still making a chicken out.
We don't always jump in to try and defend the guys. I think it's also very important for them as grown adults that they fight for themselves. When all things are said, at the highest, most critical moments in their careers, they're on their own in the server. So it's extremely important that these guys are able to, firstly, feel comfortable to have conflict, and secondly, be able to work through it themselves.
He's making a mistake and we can tell it after. Let's play the round properly first and after tell him this thing.
Okay.
We need to stay cool.
I don't think anyone would have expected this game. It's 2 international league winners on the chopping block balance.
I do feel like Liquid is on like some weird roller coaster ride this year, right? Where they started out a lot.
There's kind of this reality check for us, right? Because we boot camped before this. And during the boot camp and the prep, it was very good. And when you go up against Navi and you lose, then all of a sudden you start questioning everything you have done, right? What if we weren't as good as we thought, right? We started doubting everything, second guessing everything. It damaged our confidence a little bit, made us second guess, maybe worsen us a little bit for the next game.
All right, it's time, boys.
Kind of just like the battle of what team will come back and prosper in this event.
I guess Navi weren't doing enough plays and talking with each other enough.
To run in the tournament, they need to step up in those moments, and that's honestly not an easy thing to fix.
It's going to be hard to rally back, but this is a matchup.
When you're going into a game, when it's the last tournament of the year, last chance to kind of prove yourself, and you're about to be knocked out, I think there is like some pressure even in the most professional or the top players.
How did dog bark here today?
At least.
Today I'm gonna be the most annoying terrier. Yeah? You know those like, it's not annoying to be a big dog. You know what's most annoying? Those little dogs that are going all the time like this, you know? I'm gonna be this to them, you know? I'm gonna be annoying, you know?
Liquid have not gotten backside yet. They're trying to stay forward. Sonic gets 2. That's the spike. It's another disaster for Liquid.
As an energy, Jamppi, I wanna hear you.
Yeah, I'm trying.
A 3v3 for the rest
this
of the round.
position from Redgar is really good, but doesn't find anything.
And it's making things harder. And that's just not going to be the case, man. Loud from beginning to end. Just destroy Liquid.
Some people thought coming in that Liquid were a little bit fraudulent, to be honest, in terms of a team, and they would get exposed here.
We're so, I don't know, stiff. We're not shooting them. We're not like having some balls.
And if you guys do come out stiff, you're gonna get embarrassed again. There's no excuses after this. Figure it the out and let's go.
This is one of the saddest things I think I've ever seen. Like, they were never, ever, ever going to beat Loud in that series, Rob.
Wasn't even remotely close.
They were terrible.
Yeah, they had no idea of any of their rounds.
Liquid were just so bad that they just rolled over and died.
You expected so much more at these big events, particularly champions, to now have lost 4 straight best-of-3s heading into the offseason.
This was a not unlucky situation, okay? Things are not all good.
What do you do here if you are Liquid going forwards? Because you've got to think this team has run its course right, because somehow they went from beating Fnatic not that long ago to getting just trounced here out of the tournament without it. I don't even think they won a match right.
It's nice to be alive.
Of course it is. You guys are fucking amazing.
From my perspective, the moment got to the guys. I think they were thinking of the outcome of the match rather than focusing on the round by round and being present in every moment.
I want to know, when it came to the experience in this tournament, what do you feel like has been the biggest issue that you and the team encountered throughout this time?
I don't think we ran into any experience issues at all. I think our issues stemmed more from inside the game rather than just a general experience.
Playing on these big international events, everyone's going to give it their all and come up with new stuff. So something to kind of look back and try and find an actual concrete answer to fix it rather than letting it happen again.
We let Europe down a bit. Some sad about that, but I would just say I do think Europe is a strong region.
So obviously this result, this champs, was not how we wanted it to go. Although we had a good journey, we had some high points. I think ultimately for the level of the organisation, for what we had planned, it wasn't good enough. Liquid deserves to be competing for trophies. Their fans deserve to be watching deep tournament runs. My mind instantly was on, all right, how do we fix this for next year?
So we started a pretty intense and lengthy trial process for the new roster.
We've taken deep looks at everyone, played with multiple combinations of different people, different style of players, different types of personalities.
For us, we felt that Jamppi and Nats just have a special quality that you don't see too often in pro players.
We speak to them very, very closely on their feelings with the players. Ultimately, they're the ones creating this brotherhood. They're the ones in the server with them.
And then the players that will be joining them, they just fit so well already in the dynamic and they fill in the gaps that we need. And it's a testament to their skill that we're not the only team who's been trying to get these players.
Change is never easy. But this change is a good one.